Hello everyone, welcome to HBN Infotech Tutorials, a place to learn new techniques. Today I'll teach you the 11 table tricks that you never tried in Microsoft Word. Trick number 1. Creating pyramid squares using tables. To create pyramid squares, you will need to use nested tables. So first, go to the Insert tab, click on Table, and then insert a single column table. So in my case, I'm going to insert a 1 column by 8 row table. You can insert any number of rows as per your choice. Now click inside the first row and insert another table. So I'll go to the Insert Table, and this time I'm going to insert a 1 row by 1 column table, that is a single cell table. Now convert this rectangular cell into a square. So how do you do that? You will need to go to the layout and then say, in my case I am going to enter a height of 0.6 and width of 0.6 and press the enter key. So now this has become a square. Now click and select this plus icon to select this single cell table, and then go to the Home tab, click on Center. This centers the table inside the row. Now click inside the next row, that is the second row. Then insert a 2 column by 1 row table this time. So I'll insert a 2 column by 1 row table. Again you need to click and select this plus sign, and you go to the layout and then type 0.6 and 0.6. You can enter a different value if you want. So now again you can go to the Home tab, click on Center. Now let us do it again. So every time you insert more columns. So now this time you will need 3 column by 1 row table. So I'll go to the Insert, Table, 3 column, click and select this, go to the layout, 0.6 and 0.6. See, the height and width needs to be the same. Now go to the Home tab again, click on the Center. So I think you understood the process. Now in the same way you can insert as many tables as you want. And now let me show you one last time. I'll just click here in the 4th row, and at this time I will need to insert a 4 column by 1 row table. So click and select this plus, go to the layout and 0.6 here, and then center the table. So every time you are going to insert a 1 extra column table. That's it. So in this way, now I'm going to continue in other rows. Now the final step, you will need to hide the borders of the outermost table, that is this one. So you will need to click and select this handle, and then go to the Design, click on Borders, and then click on No Border. This is how you can create pyramid squares using tables in Microsoft Word. Table trick number 2. Creating pyramid dots. Creating pyramid dots requires you to create the pyramid squares first, as explained in the previous lesson. Once you have done that, you can go to the Insert and then click on Symbol, and then click on More Symbol. Make sure that your cursor is outside the table somewhere here, and then you can just choose the Wingdings font from the drop down and then scroll down and select this dot. I prefer this dot, and then simply click on the insert and close. Now you can select this carefully. You will need to select only the dot, so you might use the shift and arrow key to select only this amount of space, and then right click, copy, and then come and select the table one by one. See, you will need to select all the tables at once. So how do you do that? First click inside the first table, then go to the layout and then choose select cell. Now you can hold down the control button on your keyboard and select other cells, other tables as well. Just like this. And then right click and paste. Now you will need to change the alignment of the cells content. So select select the table one by one and select align center. This is available in the layout menu. So you cannot do this all at once. You will need to do this for each table, since this is a nested table. Now once you are done doing this, you can remove all the borders. Now the last step is to remove the borders. So select the cells as explained earlier. Just hold down the control key and keep selecting the table cells just like this. Once you're done selecting all the cells, go to the design tab and click on borders and click on no border. So this removes all the table borders. You can increase or decrease the size of the dots as per your choice. So you will need to select the table cells first and then use the options from here. I hope you have learned how to create the pyramid dots. Table trick number 3: creating square dots grid paper. First, let me insert a page. Now go to the insert table, insert a table with a desired number of rows and columns. In my case, I am inserting a 10 by 8 table. Now I'll select the entire table by clicking on this grip, then go to the layout, set the height for 0.6 and width also for the 0.6. You can set a different measurement if you want. Now see, this is for a sample purpose. So now I'll just click outside the table and then press the enter key, then go to the insert again and then symbol and then more symbols and then wingdings and select this dot, insert, close. Now carefully select this dot. You could also use the shift and arrow keys and then right click, copy. Now select the entire table just like this, entire table cells, then right click and paste. Now keeping the table still selected, go to the layout, click on the center alignment. So this aligns horizontally and center and vertically center to the cells. Now it's very easy. You can just go to design and then borders and then click on no borders. Using the same method, I have created this grid paper which has 30 columns by 40 rows table. So I hope you have understood how to create a square dots grid paper. Both square grid and pyramid grids are helpful in creating Rangoli designs. To learn some other ways of creating dot grids paper, you can watch this tutorial. The link is given in the description below. Table trick number 4. Creating 4-lined paper. To create a 4-lined paper, go to the Insert, Table and insert a 1 column by 4 rows table. Now select the table by clicking on this icon, then go to the Home tab, reduce the font size as per your requirement. Now click outside the table and press the Enter key. Now go to the Insert once again and click on Table. Insert a 1 column by your desired number of rows, another table. So now what we are going to do is we will copy this first table, select the table, right click, copy. Now go to the second table, select alternate rows by holding your control button and clicking on the row just like this, and then now right click and paste. Now if you observe, the first row has some extra space. You can just click here and press the backspace to get rid of that. And now you will need to get rid of the border of the outermost table. So to do that, select the outermost table just like this, then go to the design and then you can just click on borders and click on no border. So this is a very shortcut way to create 4-line paper. Watch this video in the description to learn other ways of creating 4-line paper. Table trick number 5. Creating spaced square grid. To create a spaced square grid, go to the Insert tab, click on Table and insert a table of desired number of rows and columns. In my case, I'll be inserting a 7 by 7 table. Now select the table by clicking on this icon, then go to the layout and for the height specify 0.6 and width also for 0.6. Now this becomes a square grid. Now go to the Home tab, center this to the page, and now keeping the table still selected, go to the layout, click on cell margins and then check allow spacing between cells. Now here enter a value, your desired value. I am going to enter 0.3 and click OK. So now this is a very much easy method to create spaced square grid in Microsoft Word. Table trick number 6. Creating a diamond grid. To create a diamond grid, first create a square grid like this. I am going to use a 10 by 10 square grid table. Then select the entire table, go to the design, then click on borders, then click on diagonal down border, then again go to the borders, click on diagonal up border. Now you will need to remove the inside border, so go to the borders again and click on the inside borders. So with this step the diamond grid is created. To learn more other ways to create diamond grid and isometric grids, watch this tutorial, the link is in the description. Table trick number 7. Creating a spiral square. First, create a square grid. I am going to use a 11 by 11 table. Then select the table, go to the design, select 4.5 for the border thickness. So you can select your own measurements. Then apply this to the entire table. So by clicking on the borders and clicking on all borders. Now you will need to carefully just remove or hide the unnecessary borders. Now I'll start from this place. So what you can do is you can select the cells like this. Just follow my instructions. Now go to the borders and click on the inside. This will hide the inside borders. Now watch carefully. I am going to select only the first column like this. Then again I'll just click on the inside borders. So you can repeat the steps. You can just keep selecting and click on inside borders just like this. Inside border, inside border, and so on. Now once you're done, this doesn't look like a square because of the border thickness. Now what you can do is you can set the table, go to the layout, reduce the height a little bit so that it looks like a square. You can also, you might also want to reduce the size if necessary, font size if necessary. So now the final step, we'll just remove this border. So I'll just go to the design and then take away the right border. So now this is open. Once you're done, this doesn't look like a square because of the border thickness. Now what you can do is you can select the table, go to the layout, reduce the height a little bit so that it looks like a square. You can also, you might also want to reduce the size if necessary, the font size if necessary. So now the final step, we will just remove this border. So I'll just go to the design and then take away the right border. So now this is a open, it looks like a maze. It starts from here. So I hope that you have understood how to create a spiral square in Microsoft Word. Table trick number 8. Creating design patterns. To create design patterns in Word, first take a new page, then go to the paragraph, set line spacing to single and before and after spacing to 0 points, and then click on the OK button. Then insert a table of your desired number of rows and columns. In my case, I am going to take a 10 by 10 row and column table. Now set the size of the table. So I'll set 0.6 and 0.6 for both height and width. Then I'll center this table. Then now the important thing, go to the layout, click on cell margins and then set the top, bottom, left and right to 0 and click on OK. Now click your cursor in the first cell, go to the insert, symbol, more symbols, then choose Wingdings 2 from the drop down, and then I recommend using this symbol. You might use it, experiment with other symbols. I'll select this one and click on the insert and close. Now let me increase the size of this. I'll increase the size of this symbol to match the size of the cell, and then I'll just copy this, click and select the entire table, then right click and paste. Now having the table still selected, go to the design and then borders and no border, remove the border. Now if you click away, you should get a design pattern something like this. Using the same technique, I have created these design patterns. You can start to experiment this option yourself. Table trick number 9. Creating custom page border. To create custom page border using tables, follow these steps. First, reduce the paper size margin, go to the layout, click on page setup, and see, I have set the units of measure to centimeter, so accordingly I'll be setting 0.5 centimeter as the margin from all the sides for this page, and I'll click on the OK button. Next, go to the Home tab, click on Paragraph and set the line spacing to single and before and after spacing to 0 points and click on the OK button. Now insert a table. I have experimented and finally I have arrived at these values, so I will enter 39 for the columns and 54 for the rows. You might experiment with different measurements now, and then I'll just click on the OK button. Now I'll just reduce the size, zoom value, so that you could see the entire page. You could see the entire page. Now I'll select the entire table, just clicking on this icon, and then I'll go to the layout and I'll set the height and width for 0.51 centimeter for both height and width, 0.51 centimeter, and press the enter key, and then I'll keep the table still selected, go to the Home tab and click on the center alignment. Now the next thing is you would need to merge down these cells except for the leftmost and the rightmost and the topmost and the bottommost. You would need to merge from here till here. See, make sure you select only from here till here and then go to the layout, merge cells. Now you could see that the leftmost, topmost, rightmost and the bottommost cells are not merged and all the other cells are merged. Now click inside the first cell, go to the insert symbol, insert a symbol of your choice. I'll select this symbol. I'll just simply copy this, select the entire table and then paste. Now I guess there is a extra space, indentation from the left and the bottom. So to correct this, you can just go to the layout and then click on cell margins, set top, bottom, left, right to 0 centimeter and click on the OK. Now there's one more thing. So you will need to click on this align center to align this to the center, and now you can erase this one. See, you might also change the alignment for the middle portion where you would probably type the text or something. So I would just make it top left. Now I could notice that the first column has a variable width. We will just correct this in a moment. I'll just select the first column alone and then I'll just check the width going to the layout. I think it's a wrong measurement. We will just correct this. We'll set it to the same 0.51 centimeter. Now I guess it's all perfect. Now what you can do is you can just click and select the entire table and then go to the design and then remove the border by clicking no border. If you want the border, you can keep them, it's your choice. So I want to just try a different size for the symbol. Let me increase the size. Now I'll just zoom out. I'll just zoom and show you how it looks. See, this is how it looks. So now your text goes here, so you can just simply type here, just like that. So I hope you understood this technique. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comments. I have created a dedicated video on using symbols to create designs, you can check out my description. Table trick number 10. Creating a step chart. To create a step chart using tables, you will need to create a grid first. So now I am going to insert a table. I'll enter the columns as 12 and the rows as 5 and then click on OK button. Now I'll select this entire table, go to the layout and then enter the height and width as 1 centimeter for both, and then now we are going to simply show and hide the borders as per the requirement. Now this is just an example. Now say for example the chart is something like this. It goes like this and then it comes down, goes up and like that. So I will need to hide the borders that I don't want. So now I'll select from here till here. I'll go to the design and then borders. I'll just remove the left border. So see, if the grid lines are still visible, it's because of the view grid lines. So you can just disable this. So I'll just go to the design. I don't want the top border. Now I'll remove the inside borders as well. Now I don't want these inside borders. So inside borders and then inside borders and top border. I don't want that. I don't want the bottom border for this one. So you can show and hide the borders as per your requirement. So you can just have a look at how I am doing this. So I'll just place the cursor in the cell and then I'll just disable the border that I don't need. So I might not need all of this. I'll say no border. So I want to reveal this, so I need the bottom border. So in this way you can show and hide the borders. Now the left and the top. Now once you're done with the border, you can add the values using the text box. So first you will need to click outside the table and then go to the text box, click on simple text box. Now type in a value and then you can just right click on the text box border, go to the format picture auto shape and then click on the text box tab and then set 0 for the left, right, top, bottom margins, and you can also choose the center alignment and click on the OK button. Now there's one more thing. You can go to the text wrap, click on in front of text. Now you can reduce the size of this text box just like this, and then place the text box wherever you want. Now the thing is, I want to just remove the outline of this. I'll just go to format, shape outline, and no outline. Now you can copy this text box to other places. So you can hold down the control button on your keyboard and then click and drag. Once you are done with the copying, you can change the text values. In this way, you can create a step chart in Microsoft Word. Number 11. Easy trick to create tables side by side. This trick is going to be really very simple. So first thing, you will need to insert a text box, a simple text box. Delete the content inside the text box, then place the cursor inside the text box and go to the insert table and then insert the table inside the text box. Now you can go to the format, shape outline, and click on no outline to hide the outline of the text box. So now if you want another table beside this one, you can just click away first, then insert one more text box and then insert another table inside this text box. Now same thing, go to the format, shape outline and no outline. So in this way you can create multiple tables side by side together in Microsoft Word. That's all for this video. I hope that this tutorial was helpful. I will see you all with another awesome content. Until then, it's bye from hbninfotech.com.